There's a little brown bottle sitting in almost every bathroom cabinet in America, and most people only ever reach for it when they scrape a knee. It fizzes, it stings a little, and then it goes right back on the shelf for another 6 months. But that humble bottle of hydrogen peroxide is one of the most underrated problem solvers in your whole house. Here's the part most folks don't realize. Hydrogen peroxide is just water with one extra oxygen atom bolted on. That's the whole secret. That single extra atom is what makes it bubble, what makes it disinfect, and what makes it surprisingly useful when uninvited guests start showing up in your kitchen, your pantry, and your potted plants. It costs about $1 a bottle, it's already in your home, and it can do work that people normally spend $20 or $30 on at the hardware store. Now, I'm going to be straight with you for the whole video because there's a lot of nonsense floating around online about this stuff. Peroxide is not magic. It won't single-handedly wipe out a roach colony, and it will not scare a single mouse out of your walls. But used the right way, in the right spots, for the right job, it's a genuinely powerful tool against ants, spiders, roaches, and the messes mice leave behind. So grab that brown bottle off the shelf and let's put it to work. Number 1. Knock out an ant trail on contact. If you've ever watched a line of ants march across your counter like they own the place, this is the first trick to reach for. Hydrogen peroxide kills ants on direct contact. When the solution hits them, that extra oxygen molecule goes to work breaking down their soft bodies, and the ants you spray simply won't be getting back up. The standard 3% hydrogen peroxide you buy at the drugstore works fine for this. Pour it into a spray bottle, undiluted is fine for spot treating, or cut it with a little water if you're spraying near plants, and aim it straight at any ants you can see crawling along baseboards, windowsills, and counters. Give them a good soak, wait a minute, then wipe them up with a paper towel and toss them. The thing to understand is that this is a spot treatment. You're handling the scouts and stragglers you can actually see, not the colony hiding behind your wall. That's important, and it leads us straight into the next trick, because killing the ants in front of you is only half the battle. Number 2. Erase the invisible ant highway. Here is something that will change the way you think about ants forever. Ants are nearly blind. They do not find your kitchen by sight, they find it by smell. Every ant that discovers food lays down a chemical scent trail called a pheromone trail, and every ant after it follows that invisible highway right to the prize and back to the nest. That is why you will wipe up a line of ants and then watch a fresh line appear in the exact same spot the next morning. Peroxide breaks that cycle. After you have cleared the visible ants, spray and wipe down the entire path they were using, baseboards, counter edges, around the trash can, and especially any cracks or entry points where they are sneaking in. The peroxide does not just clean the surface, it oxidizes and scrambles those scent chemicals so the next wave of ants loses the map. Do this consistently for a few days and you starve the colony of its directions. The scouts wander out, find no trail to follow, and the parade through your kitchen falls apart. It is one of the most satisfying and most overlooked ways to deal with an ant problem, and it costs you nothing but a few wipes. Number 3. Scrub away what's really inviting the roaches. Now let's talk roaches, and I'm gonna give it to you straight. Hydrogen peroxide is not a roach exterminator. Anybody on the internet telling you a spray bottle of peroxide will clear a roach infestation is selling you a fantasy. The evidence for that is purely anecdotal, and the pros will tell you the same thing. But here's where peroxide genuinely helps with roaches. It removes the open invitation that brought them in. Roaches are drawn to grease, crumbs, sticky residue, food smells, and the warm, dirty corners we don't get to. Hydrogen peroxide is a serious degreaser and disinfectant, so a peroxide and water spray is fantastic for wiping down stovetops, the gaps behind the toaster, under the sink, around the garbage can, and all those greasy spots that quietly feed a roach population. When you cut off the food and scrub away the scent that says free buffet, you make your home far less attractive to roaches in the first place. It won't kill the colony, but it removes the welcome mat, and that's a real, fact-based win. Mix 1 part peroxide to 2 parts water in a spray bottle, and make those grease zones part of your regular cleanup. Number 4. Spot. Treat the roaches you can actually see. So, what about the roach scurrying across your floor at midnight? Peroxide can handle that one. A direct, heavy spray of hydrogen peroxide will damage a roach on contact, thanks to that oxidizing reaction, the same chemistry that makes it bubble on a cut and that works on the roach's tissues. The catch, and this is the honest part, is that it only works wet, and it only works on the bug you physically hit. Once peroxide dries, it is just water and oxygen, completely harmless to anything hiding in your walls. So this is strictly a deal with the one in front of me move, not a strategy for the colony. Use it that way, and it is perfectly handy. Keep a spray bottle under the sink, and when you spot a lone roach, hit it directly and thoroughly, then dispose of it. Just don't fool yourself into thinking a few sprays solved an infestation. For a real roach problem, peroxide is a sidekick to baits, boric acid, and good sanitation, not the hero. I would rather tell you the truth than have you spraying peroxide for a month while the problem grows. Number 5. Sanitize roach droppings and smear marks. Here's a roach trick that is 100% legit and almost nobody talks about. Roaches leave behind some genuinely unpleasant calling cards, droppings that look like coffee grounds or black pepper, dark smear marks along walls and baseboards, and a musty, oily smell. That residue isn't just gross, it carries allergens and bacteria, and it can actually trigger or worsen allergy and asthma symptoms in your household. This is exactly the kind of cleanup hydrogen peroxide was born for. It disinfects, it lifts stains, and it kills the bacteria roaches track around your home. Spray down any droppings, smears, and the hidden corners where you've seen activity. Let the peroxide sit for a few minutes to do its thing, then wipe it all away. There's a bonus here too. That musty roach smell partly comes from chemicals the roaches themselves use, and scrubbing those areas clean removes scent cues that signal to other roaches that this is a good place to gather. So you are cleaning up the health hazard and quietly making the space less appealing to the next generation at the same time. That's peroxide doing what it does best. Number 6. Rescue your houseplants from spider mites. When people hear spiders, they picture the 8-legged guy in the corner of the garage. But the spider family pest that hydrogen peroxide truly destroys is the spider mite. If you keep houseplants, you've probably battled these without even knowing what they were. Spider mites are so tiny, they look like specks of dust moving across your leaves, often with faint webbing on the undersides. They live on the underside of foliage, sucking the sap out of your plant until the leaves go yellow, speckled, and weak. Left alone, they'll spread plant to plant and slowly kill your whole collection. Hydrogen peroxide stops them cold. Pour regular 3% peroxide straight into a spray bottle and mist the plant once a day for about a week, making absolutely sure you hit the undersides of the leaves and the surface of the soil where they hide. The peroxide knocks out the active mites on contact. One honest heads up, it won't kill the eggs, so if they keep coming back, follow up with neem oil to break the cycle. But for clearing an active spider mite outbreak fast, peroxide is the cheapest fix on the shelf. Number 7. Starve the spiders by clearing out their food. Now for the actual 8-legged spiders in your home. Here is a truth that flips the whole problem around. Spiders do not come into your house for you, and they do not come for your food. They come for the other bugs. Spiders are predators, and every spider in your corner is there because something it likes to eat is also in your home. Flies, gnats, and tiny soft-bodied insects. This is where peroxide helps indirectly but powerfully. A surface spray of 1 part peroxide to 2 parts water, wiped across counters, windowsills, and the spots where flies and gnats like to land, does 2 things. It disinfects, and it discourages those small insects from hanging around. Fewer flies and gnats means less food on the menu, and a house with no buffet does not keep spiders very long. While you are at it, use a peroxide-dampened cloth to clean out those dusty, webby corners where spiders set up shop, behind furniture, in window frames, in the garage. You are wiping away webs, egg debris, and the grime that attracts the bugs spiders feed on, all in one pass. Clear the food source and clean the hideouts, and the spiders move on to easier hunting grounds. Number 8. Drench the soil to stop fungus gnats and thrips. If you have plants and you keep seeing little dark flies hovering around the soil, or your leaves are developing weird silvery patches of dead tissue, you are dealing with fungus gnats or thrips, and both of these breed right in the potting soil where you cannot see them. Killing the adults you can see does nothing if the eggs and larvae are still hatching underground. Hydrogen peroxide is the perfect tool because it goes after them at the source. For fungus gnats, wait until the top inch or 2 of soil has dried out. Then water your plant with a mix of 1 part 3% peroxide to 4 parts water. It kills the eggs and larvae in the soil and breaks the breeding cycle. For thrips, which also lay their eggs in soil, mix a stronger soil spray and soak the top inch thoroughly, repeating weekly until they are gone. And here's the kicker. Your plant actually loves it. That extra oxygen molecule fizzes through the soil and aerates the roots. So while you are killing the pests, you are also giving the root system a healthy boost. You are solving a bug problem and feeding your plant in the very same step. Hard to beat that. Number 9. Wipe down after mice the safe way. Let's get to the mice, and again, I am keeping it honest with you. Peroxide will not repel a mouse, scare a mouse, or drive a mouse out of your walls. Anyone claiming otherwise is making it up. But once you have dealt with the mice themselves through traps, peroxide becomes one of the most important tools you have, because the mess mice leave behind is genuinely a health hazard. Mouse droppings in urine can carry bacteria and viruses, and the worst thing you can do is sweep or vacuum up dry droppings, because that sends contaminated dust straight into the air you breathe. The safe method is to dampen everything first. Mix 1 part hydrogen peroxide to 3 parts water in a spray bottle, then thoroughly spray the droppings, the nesting material, and the surfaces where you have seen activity. Let it sit a few minutes to disinfect, then wipe everything up with paper towels while it is still wet and seal it in a bag. Use it on hard surfaces, countertops, shelves, tile, inside cabinets, and along baseboards. The peroxide disinfects as it cleans, so you are not just tidying up, you are killing the germs those rodents tracked through your home. Wear gloves, keep the area ventilated, and never dry sweep. This one is about protecting your family's health, and peroxide does it cheaply and well. Number 10. Kill the mouse urine scent that invites more mice. This is the mouse trick that almost everyone misses, and it might be the most useful one of all. When a mouse travels through your home, it leaves tiny dribbles of urine everywhere it goes, and that urine is loaded with scent markers. To another mouse, those markers are a glowing neon sign that says, "Safe path, food this way, come on in." So even after you have trapped the mice you had, that lingering scent is actively inviting the next ones to follow the exact same route. Hydrogen peroxide neutralizes that. Where you have found mouse urine, and you will often smell it before you see it, a sharp, stale ammonia odor, apply peroxide directly, let it work for a few minutes, then blot it up. The oxidizing action breaks down the smelly compounds and the scent markers along with them, So you are not just covering the odor, you are destroying the chemical trail that draws more rodents in. Think of it like erasing the ant highway from earlier in the video, just for mice. You trap the ones inside, you seal up the entry points, and then you wipe out the scent map so the reinforcements never get the invitation. Skip this step and you are fighting the same battle over and over. Do it and you make your home a much quieter address for rodents. Number 11. Mix 1 grab-and-go pest cleanup spray. By now you've probably noticed that the same brown bottle keeps showing up for every single pest. So let's make your life easy and build one all-purpose spray you can keep within arm's reach. This is the bottle that ties everything together. Take an empty spray bottle and mix 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide with 2 parts water. That's it. This ratio is strong enough to disinfect, degrease, kill bugs on contact, and break down scent trails, but gentle enough to use around the kitchen on a daily basis. Label it, keep it under the sink, and you've got an instant answer for ants on the counter, a roach you spotted at night, greasy spots that attract pests, fly-prone surfaces, and quick mouse mess cleanup. A couple of honest cautions so you use it well. Hydrogen peroxide is a mild bleach, so don't leave it sitting on colored fabric, grout, or wood finishes. Test a hidden spot first, and wipe it up rather than letting it dry on delicate surfaces. Keep it off your plant's leaves unless you've diluted it properly. Keep it away from pets while it's wet, and store it in that dark bottle, because light breaks peroxide down over time. Treat it with that little bit of respect, and one cheap bottle becomes your everyday front line against the pests trying to move in. So there you have it. That dollar bottle you have been ignoring is not going to replace a professional exterminator for a serious infestation. And now you know exactly where its limits are, which is more than most videos will tell you. But for killing ants and plant pests on contact, erasing the scent trails that ants and mice navigate by, and safely cleaning up the mess that draws all of these critters in, hydrogen peroxide earns its spot under your sink 10 times over. This channel is all about the simple, no-nonsense tricks that help you fix everyday problems with what you already have, so you stop overspending and start stretching every dollar a little further. We have plenty more ideas like this on the way, so if this was useful to you, go ahead and hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next one. Your home and your wallet will thank you.